So the city recently passed a budget that has some modest bonuses for police officers. Is that enough to ward off poaching by other police departments?
I definitely think that's going to help us. I think that's you know, for years and years, I think we've tried to um, continue our quest to get more money for our officers, and we've been doing really well in doing it in the past several years. The problem is the profession that we're in. Um, the mandates and what's involved and the training that's needed has caused the pay, the starting pay, all the way up to skyrocket. And being a small agency, and it's not just us, municipalities all over the country are feeling it. To be able to stay competitive with not only other jurisdictions, but also state agencies has been quite a task. And hats off to the council and all the staff that were involved. We have definitely got some major pay raises coming our way. And I know we're all very, very happy about that, and it will definitely help us in recruiting and even more importantly, retaining officers down the road.
On June 4th, you reported receiving phone calls and inquiries regarding photos on social media of subjects being detained or arrested within the city limits by unidentified law enforcement. You said the law enforcement in the pictures was not anyone associated with CPD, and you had no knowledge of the incidents that took place. Did you learn any more about this, and what would you do if you encountered such activity?
So no, we had heard nothing prior to any incidents taking place. In fact, our first hearing anything about it was actually seeing it on social media ourselves. So we had no knowledge and still have no knowledge of what happened, who the subjects were. Of course, anybody that's involved and with the news and watching the news and social media goes right to the fact that it has to be ICE. Sometimes when ICE is in town, sometimes we are contacted in case something happens. Sometimes we're not. And that incident took place. We were not contacted, and we're never heard any more about the incident. Who was arrested. Of course, if any time that we come across in our daily patrols and see something like that happen, of course we're gonna make sure that one, everybody's okay. We don't know what's going on, so it wouldn't be a shock to see us stopped and making sure everything's okay. But as far as any investigation, anything like that, we're not involved in any of that.
I believe city officers recently arrested a 15-year-old suspected of shooting a man to death. It seemed they stopped a car in which he was riding. Can you tell us how the officers were able to first identify who the suspect was, and secondly, how they zeroed in to make the arrest?
We were able to, due to our surveillance equipment that we have out in that area where the shooting took place, we were able to positively identify Mr. Wilson as being the actual shooter. The overwhelming security footage showed the shooting, and we were able to trace back events before the shooting and also post-shooting to be able to identify him. Through investigation and working, the detectives did a wonderful job working tirelessly. We were able to pinpoint a possible location of where he was being laying his head, which was not at his current residence where we believed. And we were able to locate him in a vehicle traveling in the area of Route 16, Stone Boundary Road, where he was located in a back seat and arrested.
In May, you started the Cambridge Police Department's Teen Court Program. The program is for youth who are first-time offenders of a misdemeanor crime. In lieu of entering into the juvenile justice system, these teens are tried and given sanctions by a judge and jury of their peers. Is that program ongoing, and how effective is it?
Yes, I attended the very first. I didn't make the last meeting, but I did make the very first one, and I was very impressed. We had a group of teenagers, one serving as a prosecutor, one as a defense attorney, one acting as a judge and a jury. We had some people in the audience watching, and it's so impressive to watch them go through the proceeding and be judged by your peers. Uh, and, I think it's good not only for the children, but it's good for the police to build those relationships with the kids. It's another way. And also showing accountability. I think the first two trials we had were vaping incidents, which is an issue with our youth today. And those minor incidents, they were tried by their peers and held more accountable than they would if they had went through the juvenile services, because it would have never made it to court. So now the children have to do letters, they have to do a poster, they have community service hours to do, and I think that's accountability, and that's what we're really searching for. It's a lack of it in our juvenile justice system. And that's why we have 15-year-olds out there killing people. And we have to find a way to curve that. So we at the police department want to try and do everything we can to help every juvenile to get on a right path. The last thing we want is kids out there running around with guns and making our streets more dangerous.
Chief, you maintain a link on the city website for common elderly scams. Are they that common? Can you tell us what some of the most deceptive ones are?
Yeah, we get a lot of scams come through, and sometimes they'll go and they'll last a while. We'll get a couple, such as the MVA calling about you owe a toll bill that you need to pay. Send your payment in. Some of them will require your social security number, date of birth. We have some where they ask to go purchase gift cards. We have a lot of email scams that come through, and it's always good. We get those a lot, so we want to try to make sure that everyone knows, not just the elderly, but everyone knows that those scams are out there. And before you click that email link, or you answer any text message or phone call and you give any personal information, know who you're giving it to.
Yeah, what are they after? Are they after bank account numbers or what?
Yeah, easy access to your bank account where they can drain your account any way they can do it. They definitely do it. Identity theft sometimes, but more or less they're looking for the quick dollar. If they can get that money, that's what they're looking for. And trying to trace them, that's the difficult part, because most of it's not even in the United States. I mean, you're getting people from different countries that are doing this scamming, and that's what makes it difficult, trying to trace back the information.
In April, you and other representatives from the CPD administration visited the National Law Enforcement First Responder Wellness Center located in Havre de Grace, where you obtained insightful information that will assist you in updating and expanding your wellness program for officers. How effective are your mental health services?
We have come a long way from where we were. Back when I started 25 years ago, there was no mental health services. And when it was very minimal. There was no follow-up. Officers today, we're mandated now to have mental health assessments done every other year. We worked with the health department to get that done this year. And so that's just one step. But the main goal is for all of our officers to know that there's an outlet there and that they can talk to somebody, and it's not going to be looked down upon their job. They don't have to worry that their job's in jeopardy. And coming up in the law enforcement world, that was a big stigma and a worry that, if you're having issues or problems, you're supposed to be this big bad police officer all the time. You're supposed to have all the answers, and sometimes we just don't. We see a lot of things that we wish we could unsee, and we need those services as well. So myself and the staff here at the PD has made it our goal to make sure that we're giving every opportunity to our officers when they go through a critical incident, that there's resources there to help them by whatever means. And Harbor of Grace up in Haverty Grace, I mean, what program they have for first responders, it was something to see. And you actually sat in on a class where they talked about their problems and issues. It's just it's hard for an officer to just walk in any room with other people and for them to understand what they may have seen or gone through. However, when it's a whole room full of first responders, I think they feel more comfortable, and I think it's an easier access for them to be able to work out what they're going through.
Hey, you recently wrapped up the flag football program. I'm wondering how effective was that as a community engagement?
It's unreal to watch how many people come out every weekend for that. It shows the need we have to have here in our community. We every weekend, you're bringing 150, 200 kids plus parents to the ball field to have fun, and I think we need more programs like that all throughout our community all year round. And we've done it with basketball, we've done it with football. We do badges for baseball with the PAL program. We do a lot of events, and seeing the need that kids and parents, it's expensive to run programs. So we always look for sponsors, and Paul Davis and so many, the governor's office, they've really stepped up and helped us out. And we're going to continue to look for more of that. As you know, the grant funding's not where it has been in years past, so we're worried about next year. So we always look for volunteers, and we look for people that are out there willing to help donate to help our youth achieve their goals and our goals.
I've seen several examples on your Facebook page of local businesses or organizations providing meals to the CPD. How supported does the department feel by the community?
Yeah, we're not alone. We have a lot of people, a lot of support. It's just, it feels really good to me, for one, because that's one of the big things in 2022. We put on a big board. We need to build trust within our community. And when you have businesses and you have people walking up to you on the street, shaking your hand, saying you're doing a good job, it means a lot. And I think, us showing the community that we care, what we do for our youth, what we do for our seniors, on top of trying to keep crime to a minimum and keep reducing it every year. I think it's key to a police department. It's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. Our job is not just going out, arresting the bad guys and moving along with our day and saying we're dropping crime and all's good with the world. Our job goes far beyond that now. And you see that with the mandates we have, the trainings we have to do. We just can't, randomize police. We have to do it in community-oriented policing, patrolling with purpose, and we have to show to the community we care. And, I saw a post back, I don't know, a critical post on the PD about us not doing enough for our youth, which it amazes me. Critics will be critics, but if anything, we need more of our community stepping up and working with us. And if you're a business owner, or if you're a person in a community that is having crime, step up to the plate. Come to some of our volunteer events and help us. We want to keep our streets safe, and we want to keep the kids in our community safe and guns out of their hands. And it goes for inside the schools too. We give an officer to the Dorchester County Board of Education for Macy's Lane to build community in that school. And when they see Corporal Jones, when those kids see him, there's a respect there that they'll never forget. And that means a lot going forward. There's a lot of those kids that are on the street. And look, most of our kids in our community are great kids. They're doing some great things. It's just a couple handfuls of children that we're having issues with. And if we had gotten to them when they were younger and we could have touched some of their lives, we could have changed some of them. And I think we all as a community, whether you wear a badge or you don't, need to step up. And that's how we're going to make Cambridge better.